you're a sheep and beef farmer, it's been a pretty hard 3 years. One of the strategies that has been used for you to be resilient and survive the current market conditions has been to withhold fertiliser or to severely reduce fertiliser. So what's going to happen when you do that? Depending on what your base level of soil fertility is, in other words, if it's quite high, you will notice very little change in that first 12 months. By the end of the second year, after you've been withholding probably phosphorus and sulphur, then you will start to see some decline in pasture production if you were able to measure it. It would be about in the order of 5%. And then by about the fourth or fifth year, then you've lost probably anywhere between 15 to 20% of pasture production. But not only that, you've actually started to lose pasture quality as well. You're getting ingress of weeds and plants that you do not want in your pastures because the animals won't thrive on them. Additionally, you'll notice if you keep soil testing, even though you're not applying fertiliser, is that you'll see in the low fertility areas, you'll see soil fertility hardly change because it's not producing much, the stock aren't going there, grazing it much, etc. And pasture production won't change much in the low fertility areas. The change will be in the high fertility areas first. The soil test values will drop quite quickly and the consequent effect on pasture production and quality. In the market conditions like you've just been through and the financial implications of that, the mitigation to that is to prioritise where you can spend the minimum amount on fertiliser and still maintain productivity. So obviously, if you're going to grow crops, you need to grow a good crop because that's a bloody expensive business. If you've got new pastures that have come in after last year's crops or whatever, you've got to look after them because they're basically babies and adolescents and you've got to really nurture those. Then your higher fertility, high quality areas where you're finishing livestock, because that's where you're going to be making your money. You must put some there if you can stretch it that far. And then, you know, as you get to the medium hill country, medium fertility, and then the steep stuff, then, you know, I mean, you could almost stop putting it on the steep stuff because you're not going to lose a hell of a lot in pasture production or quality. And so that's the way to prioritise. And our agri-managers can help you do that. Now look, my experience is that you're all going through this together. It doesn't matter whether you're on the east coast of the North Island, the high country of the South Island, or wherever you are, sheep and beef farming, it's been tough. And so everyone's having these conversations. Everyone has changed their strategies over the last 3 years. It is unique to each farm. So that's why it's important for you to have conversations with the people you trust to work out what is the best strategy for you, hopefully to climb out of where we're at now and then be resilient in the future.